Hey there everyone, this is Karen Mahoney, Creative Memories Advisor in the New England area. I am on here today to make a border with you. I am making a blog border, and what that is a border idea that I got off of the Creative Memories blog. Also got off of this fantastic idea book, 110 Scrapbooking Border Ideas and Sketches. I love this. It was a promo not too long ago. It is not available to purchase on my website, but I'm sure if you ask your advisor, she could probably find you one, maybe has one, or knows who you can get in touch with. I know I have a bunch left, so any of my customers, feel free. You know how to contact me, and I will get you one. I love this book. Let me open it up. It is border ideas that were compiled from the Creative Memories blog. So you have a picture of the finished border that was made on the blog, and then you have the sketch of the border. So the sketch is really a guide. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's a nice little idea that you can use to make a border with. So it's a great idea book. If you're someone who really likes measurements, what I do is I search, because it will kind of tell you the year that things came out. If you search the blog, there is a search feature. On here, I would have probably put in the search, it's Fall Y'all Sunflower Vine Border Punch. So that usually will bring up the post that you're looking for. On the blog post will be detailed measurements of the border that you want to make. So just a little trick. So if you have this book, that's a nice little trick to do. These are all on the blog. Nothing in here, I don't believe, was made for this book specifically. So I'm going to show you, let's see, the one that I'm going to make, which I had blocked off, but now I have lost it. So give me a moment here. Sorry about that. Yep, it was, what I do is once I find it on the blog, I take a pen and I mark up what blog post it was. It was dated October 16th, 2019. It was called A Poinsettia Border. I wrote down the measurements that I need. I didn't get overly exact because more than likely I'm not using the same punch, and it shows the punch here anyways. So just the basic measurements is what I've done. So you can see here it's a Christmas border. I'm going to use Christmas collection, the new Christmas spring collection, which is called Painted Garden. And let's get started on this because I'm not even using the same tools. This is what I'm using. I am using the Damask Flourish frame punch. A frame punch is a punch that can take a corner. It punches across like a regular border, but it can take a turn and make a full frame or just a corner. But I'm not using it that way. I'm using it as a basic border punch, as in the book here. And I am using the Leafy Vine border punch as well. So as we go along, I will show you what something might be replacing, and I'll get into more details. So let's get started. This is the finished border that I created. You can see it's very different from the border in the book, which is great. It goes to show that no matter what you use, and if you use different tools, if you use different papers, you're going to come up with a very different border. But you'll see that it still kind of follows the sketch here. And as we go, I will show you the differences. So let's get started. First thing we did on here, the base piece is a 3x12 piece of paper. So you could use, on here they used cardstock. I'm going to use white cardstock for this. This is actually the back of a fly sheet on a pack of paper. So I use this all the time. So this is nice and sturdy like white cardstock. So I'm going to take my Damask punch and I'm going to make a straight border. Now I'm going to assume you all know how to use a border punch. If you don't, there are plenty of YouTube videos that show you how to use one. So for this purpose of this video, I'm just going to go right through and make the border. So I'm going to go all the way across, and I'm just going to make one pass all the way down, which is usually about 6 punches will make you a full border. So let's see, 3. So I think that's what it's going to be. 4, 5. And that last punch, make sure it's completely lined up, 6. Always making sure that your punch is cleared. That's the only thing we're going to do on this paper here. And then the next sheet, piece of paper I'm using from the Painted Garden paper pack. I'm going to, this was a 2 3/4 inch by 12 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go across and give it a, make a nice border. Now this is a little bit, this is hard to see. You're going to see the paper's a little short to see where I'm lining it up. But you know what? It's okay because I want it to be offset a little anyway. So if it's not perfect, it kind of works better for this border. Because you want to see one behind the other, because these are going to be laid on top of each other. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I love these silicone mats. I hope Creative Memories comes back with these. But you can see this is great to take the little trash can and dump. Okay. I don't have everything off. It can be a little staticky, but that's okay. So I've got these 2 done. And then what I've pre-cut is I needed, this is that same sheet that I just punched. What I did is I needed a 1-inch strip, which is this strip right here. So I cut another one, but I'm going to use the reverse side of that because I personally like a pop of bold. I like a little bit of bold in my layouts, in my borders. I am a huge lover of designer paper. I probably use way more designer paper than I use cardstock. So, so that pairs perfectly with this. So now all we have to do that we've done that, we're going to assemble. And what I'm going to use is my reposition. I'm going to use actually regular adhesive. And what I want to do is I want it to be just offset because I want to see some of the white behind this. So I'm going to take regular tape and just put a little down. You could take repositionable adhesive and put it on underneath the parts that are really intricate if you wanted to do that. But you know, when I put this down on a layout and then I have a page protector on top, it's not going anywhere. So I don't really feel like I need to waste it. I hate wasting adhesive. So putting this on, you want to make sure you have about 1/8 of an inch or so, or this is kind of between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch that I'm going to leave on here. Actually, if I line this up, because see how wonderfully they put measurements on this silicone mat. So if I put it at 1/4 inch, it's covering it too much. So if I kind of, that's about 1/8 of an inch. It's a little too much. I don't want that much. So I'm going to kind of go in between. And honestly, you do what you like. And put that on there. And it's stuck right there. So I'm not too worried that I didn't put any adhesive under here because it's not going anywhere. So why waste if you don't have to? All right. So then you're going to have this 1-inch piece. Okay. And looking back at our guide, you've got the red, the solid red in the back here is that white cardstock. And then the one on top is my kind of maroon colored designer paper, but that also shows down here, which means you're not covering this spot right here. So this is going right about here, is what that's going to do. Now, if you see the green behind here, when I looked at the blog post, what they did was they punched This is the petal frame punch. They punched a third border of the petal frame punch, and then they fussy cutted to make this kind of shape here. Well, it didn't really work with the damask. So what I chose to do instead was punch a border with the leafy vine. So I'm going to do that next before I stick anything down, because I like to have everything together. All right, so now I'm going to use I used the leafy vine border punch, which I love. It's a little fussy, so I pre-cut this piece from another sheet of the Painted Garden. And you can see here, that's what I did. I put it there instead. I didn't tuck it under. I put it right on top because I kind of like to cover those seams. So here's my pieces to finish assembling. So you can see this is my 1-inch piece. This is where they put that third border that I'm going to use the leafy vine. So why don't we put those on? This is my finish. So a lot of times I did one ahead of time. So I'm probably going to use this as a 2-page spread at some point. So I want to make sure that it's put down the same. Don't need too much adhesive. All right, I love the measurements on this mat. So I can see I kind of started it right about here. Just, you know, to have it the same. And then I need my repositionable tape, which works great on this mat. Don't ever use repositionable tape on your cutting mat, because you will have a really hard time cleaning it off later. So the silicone works really great. And since this one kind of went in this direction, I'm going to do this one. I don't know, maybe I'll go in the other direction, just kind of to be fun. I'm covering the seam with the center of this border, because I don't really like to see the seams. And there you go. One thing left I have to do right here. They used a sticker going all across, a border sticker. I'm going to do the same. I thought since this paper was kind of busy, I did not want to choose a busy border sticker. So I picked something that was much more calm. I'm going to put it all the way across. There you go. And then, which I didn't do on the other one, you'll see they put some stickers here. And let me do that as well. Okay. I think I'm going to put, and I love foam squares. I like to give a lot of things, like, especially if I do a little cluster, kind of a little pop. So I'm going to, let's see, put some on here. I'm not going to take them off yet because I want to kind of look at my placement. Now these stickers are also from Painted Garden. So I have a garden, so I'm going to make this more of a garden layout. So I'm gonna, put that there. And I may put this Homegrown Happiness over that. So I think I am definitely gonna do that. So I'm gonna stick that on top. I like to kind of put my clusters together on my finger a lot of the time. I just find it to be easier than trying to stick it down and figuring out my cluster that way. So that one will obviously need some foam squares as well, because it's going on top of this. So that will go there. Or even maybe it can go there as well. And then I do flowers and veggies. So I think what I'm going to do is that. And then, yep. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna commit is what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna commit. That's the hardest thing to do, is to commit, especially since I don't even have the layout yet. I'm just making borders. So I am pretty confident that that's what these borders are gonna be for. I'm sure I'll be taking pictures of my little rookie garden. I'm not a professional gardener, and I kind of like things askew a little bit. And I'm gonna put that there, flowers. And I think I'm gonna put this little, oh, maybe it can go there. Veggies, perfect. So hope you find that cute. But look how easy that was. That was so simple. And I hope to do more of these with you. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.